Hi everyone. Today marks the beginning of a new math module focusing on geometry. And I am going to introduce you to some information about polygons and quadrilaterals, as well as the attributes that we can use to describe polygons today. So our objectives are, I can identify common polygons, including quadrilaterals, and I can use math tools to sketch examples of common polygon traits and attributes. So you are going to need some math tools for today's lesson. And they should be things you have handy at home. Let me go over them. You're going to need a pencil, a blank piece of paper, and a straight edge to trace, like a ruler or an index card. You could also make your own straight edge by folding a second piece of paper in half and tracing along the fold. So pause this video for you so that you can get the materials needed for the rest of this lesson, and then press play again when you're ready. So to begin with, a polygon. This might be a review for some of you. A polygon is any closed shape that has straight sides. If a shape is closed, it means that there are no gaps between the sides. So here we have closed shapes and straight sides. Here are some examples of shapes that are not polygons because their sides are not straight, or some sides are not straight. So your turn. You're going to use your straight edge that you grabbed to draw any polygon on your paper. Make sure your polygon has straight sides and is a closed shape. So I'm going to pause and give you a moment to do that. Okay, if you need more time, press pause to finish your drawing, and then press play when you're ready. So your work might look like this. These are just some examples. Some are familiar shapes, like a rectangle or a triangle or a pentagon, and some are more unusual. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still a hexagon, but it's not likely what you're used to thinking of when you hear the word hexagon. Next vocabulary word is angles. When two straight sides come together on a polygon, they form a corner. We call these corners angles. So this polygon has 4 angles. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many angles does this polygon have? We're going to count them. 1, we're starting at the top. 2, 3, 4. Ooh, my computer's being blocked. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this polygon has 10 angles. Your turn. So you're going to circle all of the angles or corners of the polygon you already drew. How many angles does your polygon have? Write it next to your polygon that you drew. So your work might look like this. You might have circled the angles or just counted them up. Here we have 4, 3, 5. Next vocabulary word is about a very specific type of angle called a right angle. And a right angle is a special type of angle because it is exactly 90 degrees. We measure how wide an angle is in degrees, and a right angle is exactly 90. So think of a right angle as a perfect square corner, like the corner of a piece of paper. You could actually draw a square by adding 2 lines to your corner, and it would make a perfect square. So this polygon has actually 4 right angles. You can make a perfect square in every single corner. How many right angles does this shape have? You got it. It has 1 right angle. You can make 1 perfect square in this corner. This is actually called a right triangle because it has 1 right angle. How many right angles does this shape have? You got it. There are no right angles. You cannot make a perfect square out of any of those corners. Your turn. You're going to use your straight edge to draw a right angle on your paper. Remember to use the small box to mark it as a rectangle, or as a right angle. So you can make just the right angle part. You do not need to finish the polygon unless you'd like to. So take a moment to do that now. Pause if you need more time. I'm going to show you some examples. So you might have made a right angle like the start of what you might use to draw a triangle or a square. You might have made it at a different angle, but it still makes a perfect square in the corner. Or you might have drawn a full polygon and marked the corners that are right angles. Next vocabulary word is an important one, parallel sides. When two sides of a polygon are parallel, it means that they will never meet or cross. Parallel sides will always stay exactly the same distance apart, even if they were extended forever. So our shape here has two parallel sides. They're opposite sides, and if you were to keep stretching out this shape, this parallelogram, it would keep going forward, as with this line, and it would never touch. That's how you know they're parallel. The other side, this side and these sides are not parallel, because if they kept going, eventually they would crisscross. So this shape has one pair of parallel lines. Your turn. Use your straight edge to draw a pair of parallel lines on your paper. Show that they are parallel by adding the arrow tick marks. Remember, the arrow tick marks are those, just making an arrow on your lines. Make sure that they're opposite sides, and that if you were to keep going with them, they would not touch. So your work might look like this. You might have made them really spaced out, or maybe very close together. But what's important is that if they were to keep going, they wouldn't touch. Next vocabulary word is an important one that you'll be hearing throughout this module. Quadrilateral. A quadrilateral is a polygon that has exactly 4 sides. So all of the pictures that you see on this slide show quadrilaterals, and they're really different from each other. Because of that, we're going to look at specific attributes or qualities of these quadrilaterals to try to sort them out. So trapezoids are a type of quadrilateral with 4 straight sides and at least one pair of opposite parallel sides. So here we have parallel sides, and here we have parallel sides. You'll notice that the other sides are not parallel. If you look below, the quadrilaterals that you see in blue, purple, pink, and green also have at least one pair of parallel sides, so they could fit in the trapezoid category, but they have other attributes, so they have different names. So we're going to keep going and find out about other attributes besides parallel sides. A parallelogram has 4 straight sides, just like the last one, but they have 2 pairs of opposite parallel sides. So a trapezoid has 1, parallelograms have 2. If you look below at the other shapes, the blue, the purple, and the pink, these quadrilaterals also have 2 pairs of parallel sides. So they could fit in the parallelogram category, but they have other attributes, so they have different names. Let's find out more. Rectangles. Rectangles have 4 straight sides. They have 2 pairs of opposite parallel sides. The opposite sides are equal, and they have 4 right angles. So that's what's different from a parallelogram. Their opposite sides are equal. So this side and this side are the same length, and this side and this side is the same length. Here, same, 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 same. And they also have 4 right angles. If you look below, you're going to see a familiar shape. It also has 4 straight sides, 2 pairs of opposite parallel sides. Opposite sides are equal, and it has 4 right angles, but it also has one other attribute. So it has its own category. It's a square, and a square has 4 straight sides, 2 pairs of opposite parallel sides, 4 right angles, and all 4 sides are equal. It cannot be a square unless it has all equal sides. So this is a very special type of quadrilateral because it could fit in all of the categories. It has all of the attributes but then one very special one, the four sides being equal. Next, a rhombus. A rhombus has four straight sides, two pairs of parallel sides, and all four sides are equal. So a rhombus is shaped like a diamond. A square also has four equal sides, so it's technically a part of the rhombus category as well. All right, to wrap it up today, you learned about quite a few vocabulary words. Some of them may have been familiar, some of them may have been new. You're going to be using that understanding of vocabulary and applying it in the Zern lessons to follow. So if you look below in the slide, all of these polygons that you see here are quadrilaterals because they have the same number of sides. But you need to use other attributes like the number of parallel sides, equal sides, and right angles to identify specific kinds of quadrilaterals. This week, you're going to continue to practice identifying quadrilaterals and their attributes on Zern. If at any time you need to go back and look at this vocabulary, these slides are going to be open for you all week. So go back and check. Look through the vocabulary because it's going to help you describe quadrilaterals accurately. All right, I hope that you enjoy this unit. It's a really fun one. Bye, guys.